Alright, what is up everyone? I am back today with another video of Mono Red Devotion, or in short, in Dave terms, Blood Ocean. And yes, ocean like potion, not the ocean. Yes, Blood Ocean. Alright, so what's this deck do? What is Devotion? Devotion is a sweet ability in Magic. It is an ability that counts the number of colored mana symbols in cards that you cast, and it applies to a certain effect. So this deck is trying to leverage Fanatic of Mogis. When Fanatic of Mogis enters the battlefield, it deals damage to each opponent equal to your devotion to red. So this can kill someone out of nowhere. How do I get devotion to be a high number? Well, ideally you want to curve out into like 2, 3, 4 drop, 1, 2, 3, 4 drop, and having your last card be Fanatic of Mogis and have as many red mana symbols amongst your creatures as possible on the battlefield. Normally with win conditions, I like running 4-ofs, but I've noticed that Fanatic, you don't necessarily want to be fully loaded on this card because you want it to come later. You don't want it to be in your opening hand. So giving it a slightly less chance of it showing up in your opening hand by putting 3 copies in verse 4, I think makes sense for this particular win condition. So outside of that particular win condition, this deck's got a pretty aggressive, cohesive low to the ground plan. Just playing a bunch of really effective creatures that deal damage, have evasion. Earthshaker Khenra can make creatures not block. Kari has menace, can't be blocked by 2 or more creatures, and makes this sweet monkey token. Seriously, this card's sweet. Ragavan. So yeah, getting the monkey token sweet. Got Bonecrusher for removal. Anax is perfect for board wipes or spot removal, just keeping your creatures around as long as possible. Chainwhirler, not only being just a great card for devotion, having 3 red in the mana cost, it's just a solid creature all around. Very good against goblins, and goblins will always be popular. So being able to deal 1 to each opponent and each planeswalker, or each opponent, each creature in planeswalker your opponent's control is huge. Double that with Torbran here, which is another win condition of sorts for this deck. Makes every red source you control deal 2 more damage to whatever permanent it deals damage to this turn. And there is a theme with a lot of the red cards in this deck where they deal supplemental damage. Each one of these abilities, the 1 damage from the Chainwhirler, the 2 damage from the Hauler, the 1 damage from the Spitter, etc., gets 2 more damage added onto each one, so you can just kill people out of nowhere with Torbran. So that's pretty sweet. And Chandra's in here, 2 red for devotion, so that's always nice. And Chandra is just an all-around great card. Can't go wrong with any of these abilities. It's a good stabilizing card. So in the sideboard, got 2 Shatterstorm, because if you guys watched the other video I posted today of the mono blue artifact storm deck, that deck is starting to become pretty popular on the ladder. So having cards to deal with all of the artifacts is definitely key. So I have 2 of those because I don't want to see that too frequently, on top of having 4 Braids, which can also deal with artifacts. Roiling Vortex for life gain decks. Experimental Frenzy for control. Hazoret for control. And just an alternate win con in general. And Grim Lavamancer is always just a nice card, especially if your opponent's not attacking your graveyard. Pretty safe bet that you'll be able to maximize your graveyard with that. So let's hop into some games. Just a friendly reminder to everyone out there, don't forget to drink water and breathe. It's very important to living. Talking so much today, not used to that. Alrighty, so this hand looks incredible if it can draw 2 more lands. 24 lands in decks, we got 22 out of 53. Seems like a decent chance we'll draw 1 land in the next couple turns. This is for the Magic Gods. Oh, Magic Gods are okay with it. Cool. 1 land in 3 draws makes this hand absolutely incredible. Hopefully I can Chainwhirler the Stone Coil Serpent before it gets out of hand. But something tells me next turn it's gonna get some more counters. Maybe in the form of Rishkar? Yeah, Rishkar would be absolutely insane here. Loxodon also insane. That's brutal. Alright, so I guess the game plan now is we're going to try and Fanatic of Mogis. So to maximize devotion, definitely got to get a Chainwhirler down. Knock their life total down a little bit. I think we're going to take a pretty hefty smack to the face. Having first strike, keeping the Serpent at bay will be nice. Nice. Chamber Sentry. Good stuff. I'm going to go to 11 here. So this is going to be a problematic card. So I think Chandra's going to have to take care of one of them. Also, Chandra might actually put up a good distraction and save the life total a little bit. Alternative plan is to have Ember Hauler up for its ability and play either the Chainwhirler or Anax. Chainwhirler not doing much right now. I think waiting for a Torbran might make this worth better, but man, tough spot. I think I have to get rid of one of their creatures though.
My hair is on fire?
I'm not a fan of that Chamber Sentry. Definitely being able to pluck a threat out will not to be ideal. If they ignore Chandra, might have an explosive turn. Oh, they might regret that. They might regret that. Alright, so play land for turn. Got 5 mana from that, 7 with Chandra. So I can Chainwhirler into Fanatic. Yeah, let's do that.
Yup, you're going down.
Because then I can get an attack in with this Chainwhirler, and they're going to be encouraged not to block. Yeah, it gets a first strike, and then I can just drop Fanatic and pop them for 11. Good game. And that is exactly why there are 3 copies of Fanatic, because you want to draw it at the right point in time, but having it too early is bad. That's where I justify having 3 copies of a certain card versus 4. In this particular circumstance, every circumstance is obviously different, but that's my justification here. So, playing against a creature-based +1/+1 counter deck. Shadowstorm does not have a text box. Hazoret actually is pretty good, being indestructible. Will block favorably against all the large creatures, assuming I can keep my hand size low. They weren't really gaining life. They weren't playing free spells, so Roiling is out of the question. I think a Braid is 10 out of 10 and deal with their creatures before they get large. Did not see too much removal, so I think going down Anax is fine. Go down 1 Mogis because I'm bringing in some 4-drops. Having multiple win cons justify bringing one of those down just to balance it out. Do I just drop 2 Chandra, even though Chandra was the reason why we won that? What does Bonecrusher hit? Bonecrusher can only hit those artifacts as of right now. Might not be a bad idea just to drop 2 of those, just because I will not be stopping very many things. One more land would have probably made this a slam dunk, but I mean, being on the draw helps, but that only gives me 2 draws to see my second land, and, well, I mean, I guess the odds are okay. Go big or go home. Here to entertain and take risk. There we go, rewarded immediately. Never didn't have it. I knew it from the beginning. This was recorded in a live studio audience in my bedroom. Me, myself, and I. Yeah. It's perfect. Target with power less than or equal to. Alright, sweet. So, play that, make the mentor not be able to block. Get it 4 damage. Enters plus on that. More. That sucks that got exiled, but Ember Hauler can answer an apparition. I don't think this Chainwhirler is going to be answering too much, unfortunately. Try to get as much damage in as early as possible to make a kill later with Fanatic of Mogis more feasible. Also getting within hazard damage range. That bottom ability is super relevant once you start running out of gas. And they are playing Rishkar. Those are some big creatures. I think we gotta unload the hand as soon as possible. Play land for turn. If I play Hazoret now and leave back both blockers, I could chump away Illusion on the Mentor, which would leave open 7. Put me at a theoretical 7 right now, assuming they have just blanks. If they play like another Rishkar, put them on these 2. Yeah, I gotta play creatures. I think Azaret's just gonna turn. Yeah. Fortunate to take 1 here versus playing this and not taking 1, but I think having Chainwhirler out for a devotion count, potentially drawing the Fanatic next turn, could be an out. Always play to your outs. So when decks start gumming up the board like this, Fanatic actually looking really good right now. That might be a mistake. Yeah, definitely might be able to pump them out here. What do we got for damage? They're forced to block this. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Puts them to 2. Oh man, that is so close. So if I just go in with Hazoret and they swing all out, of 4 blockers, assume they draw a blank, so Oh, 2 creatures have trample. Crap. Oh man, I can't even attack with Azra. Yeah, I gotta leave it back because these 2 have trample. Man, close game. Close game. Alright, I don't know if we're getting out of this. So let's see what we can do for preventing the most amount of damage. Let's kill that off. Block here, and then if I chump this, 15 minus, this will put me at exactly 1. I think, if I math that correctly. Alright, at 1. Unfortunately, they just gained a lot of life, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back from that. Nope. Let's go out. God, with some dignity. Going out on my terms. Kill myself. Alright. Their ability to come up the board was very clear there, so we'll do that. Chandra looking less impressive after seeing how big those creatures can get. Torbran definitely matches up better. Prepare for the worst and everything else gets easier. Yeah, this is solid. Just gotta rattle off 2 lands. At least we got some, got 2 spells to play if we choke on lands the next couple turns. Fanatic is going to be nice later. Because this might be one of those games where they come on the ground. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I wonder if they're running Collected Company. This deck seems like it would be a good Collected Company deck. It's unfortunate missing that land, but I think I still attack him with both anyways, because Bonecrusher will be able to trade with something. Winding Constrictor, definitely the heart and soul of that deck, so get that off the table. Hope they don't have a backup. It was a good choice to get rid of the Constrictor. Otherwise that would have gotten out of hand. Man, Magic God's just not having it today, so missing that land drop, I think it's pretty safe bet just to pack it up here. Not coming back, missing those land drops. Which is really unfortunate. Start off with the 2 lands in hand and just straight up don't see one. Unfortunately, it happens. That is the nature of Magic. So, chalk it up, move on. Hand looks great. Asking for one land, can't ask for, not asking for too much. We got our mana screw game out last game, so cumulative variance should say we should draw this one. Bam. Algorithm solved. Adventures. The Rainkeeper's very valuable. Can't imagine them trading this off. It is tempting to Ember Haul that, assuming nothing else comes down. Worth hitting with that. Bonecrusher. Actually, that's a good backup plan. I'm actually okay with this particular trade. If they want to have one less 1/1 on the field. Sweet. Managed to get rid of it before they got value off of it. This is looking like the deck list that recently got banned up in Standard. Someone missing it too much, they just want to play more. They didn't show Brazen Bar last turn, so I think I feel pretty good about just jamming this Torbran. Pause those kind of concerning. That makes me think it might be that. They played that well. Yeah, they fooled me. Adventurous Impulse, that's an interesting one. Alright, so land for the turn, we got 5 mana at our disposal. If we wanted to double spell, it'll be Chainwhirler, Ember Hauler, or I can redeploy Torbran. Or I can do Ember Hauler. But I think redeploying Torbran is where it's at. They have to top deck an answer at this point, and if they don't, I'm going to blow up their board into next year. Chandra can deal with Lovestruck Beast, because it's a red source with Torbran. That is fine. Go to 9. Still on 5. Alright, so I think this is still a Chainwhirler Hauler turn. Eliminate their defenses. Get them down to a pretty low life total. Lovestruck Beast can't attack now, unless they manage to rip off something that creates a 1/1 for them. Which they did not. Alright, we're gonna send them out in style. Fanatic. Dead you. Fanatic of Mogis, easily one of my favorite red cards. Alright, so against the Adventures deck. Didn't see Lucky Clover, so I don't think it's worth bringing in Artifact Hate. I actually kind of like where this deck is currently set up. I don't see a reason to bring in a Braid at the moment. Especially if it only hits 1/1 tokens and random Brazen Borrowers. I already have Goblin Chainwhirler to deal with cards that a Braid would be able to deal with. That's a curve. We'll keep it. That's a reason to start bringing in a Braid. So, can confirm that is theirs. Definitely jam in as much damage as possible as early as possible. Getting the ramp on. Really hoping I can get under this deck before they do some crazier stuff next turn. That's unfortunate. Lucky Clover is a good card. Double Stomp for next turn, maybe? Oh man, 2 Lucky Clovers, that sucks, but... Why isn't this legendary? I thought a Lucky Clover was supposed to be, like, unique. Do I play Fanatic? So they're gonna have 6, 7 lands next turn. They could play a Giant, or they could just plow down all that. I think I'm still holding up double Bonecrusher or double Stomp, because they can just totally wreck the board right now. This is one of those decks where it's really nice on the wallet because it plays pretty much just basic lands. There might be a couple of non-basics to search for basic lands, but getting rare lands to make mana bases on Arena is very difficult and expensive. If you're not willing to fork over hundreds of dollars to play multiple decks, it's pretty much out of the question. Let's see if they do this correctly. If they kill this Anax before the Bonecrusher resolves, it actually would counter that. Okay, they did it right. They have been hurt by that before. That's proof right there. Alright, so gotta use our mana. Let's try and get them dead. Torbran. Making this a little bit closer to reality. If I drop Mogis next turn with no other plays, I'll put them at 1. So they would have to have 2 blockers, which they can do. Or they can just kill Torbran, that works too. How do we recover from here? If we draw another land, Fanatic is nice. I would have loved the land to be able to start getting some permanents in play. Yeah, I think the play is still just getting Bonecrusher out. Still looking for the 6th land for the Khenra, regardless, but really want to be able to double spell if possible. Get as much tempo in your favor. Yeah, I think just block anyways. I'm still playing a creature. Chainwhirler. That's a good one. I still want my 6th land, but this might just be too little, too late at this point. They'd have to really screw up this sequence to have a chance of Fanatic killing them. Oh yeah. They basically draw their entire sideboard out, copying that over and over. Can't fathom them not having a win con, so we'll bring in the Abrades, because Lucky Clover. Anax is kind of medium. I think I'm still in the Fanatic plan. The Chandras are kind of medium, but I think I still want them around just in case. Just not as excited. This is where I get to start again with like 2 of them. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. I think this hand might be fast enough. Love these old school artwork lands. Definitely recommend picking them up in the store if you have the means. Now we're definitely looking for some braids. Braid would be a sick draw next turn. Be able to double spell, get rid of that. Would be nice. 4 copies and 51 cards. Not good. 2 Clovers. Not ideal. I will defend keeping that hand till the end. I wouldn't mull that hand looking for an Abrade. Is it crazy to play Anax and get a bunch of Satyr tokens? Yeah, actually with the Castle Embereth. Man, I want to, but I feel like I have to get my value of being able to double spell in a turn. So let's get this attack in and see what they do. Give them a 12, down to 1 creature, a couple satyrs. Imagine they're going to search for some lands, yeah. Basically is free with 2 Clovers out. That's going to be worth stopping. Let's see where they send these first. Okay, makes sense. Definitely get this Innkeeper out of the way. This will get them back in the game if I leave that unchecked. There's the Braid. Sweet. Let's see if I can get them to chump with the token. Oh, alright, sweet. Yeah, we'll go Bonecrusher or Braid. They've gotten a lot of value out of those Glovers, but I still think it's right to get rid of them, because basically 30% of their deck triggers this card as such. Though that one's not particularly the end of the world. I could just draw a Goblin Chainwhirler, wipe out that army of 1/1s. So that land turns that on, and could just hold up Castle, swing in all. Yeah, actually, let's do that. They're gonna feel incentivized to block Bonecrusher with the Lovestruck Beasts. They've got to be thinking Embercleave, but I actually don't run Embercleave, so that's actually a good little mind game to play with someone when you're playing this archetype. Most people expect the cleave. This does wipe out our entire board, but I think it's valuable to get their board clear. I have means of recovering my board. They don't, outside of this, of course. Ooh, Ugin is a good one. God, I gotta kill him fast. So it's their 2, 4, 6. So they gotta play the escape into Ugin. So this is actually a pretty safe line, assuming it resolves. Maybe they kill the Chainwhirler? Nope. Okay. Those stops make me think they have a Bonecrusher Giant in hand, so they could have 4 damage at their disposal. Standard ban, standard ban. This is historic, everybody. The dumping grounds of standard. Alright, so that Lovestruck Beast can block that, so they can take 7 if I do this. Or yeah, actually, I think that is the route, because then they're going to be incentivized to Ugin next turn, and I'm going to have Ember Hauler deal 2 damage on the following turn. So, assuming they don't gain life, should be able to kill them next turn. They're going to have a pretty crazy sequence to be able to recover from here. And with 1 mana and Ugin board white, what 1 mana spell is going to stop Ember Hauler?
An opportunity to act rashly is a chance to fail.
Yeah, I believe this game is in the bags, yep. And actually, they still got to answer Earthshaker Khenra too, so they have 2 ways on board, or 1 way on board and 1 in hand to kill them. I'm just gonna show them the Ember Hauler. No matter what you did, GG's. Back to negation would have sucked there, but that would have been something completely out of right field. Back to Plat 3. Here, let's go 1 more game in. Yeah, this hand looks sweet. Go with the Hauler versus the haste creature. And also because if these get countered, I can still play them there if this gets countered. I will not be able to play it later. They'll be less incentivized to counter this just because of Eternalize. Yep. I definitely think they have a counter spell, it's just a matter of what they decide to use it on. Honestly, giving them as many awkward targets as possible is very, very appealing. Here I'm going to hold up Stomp versus playing Earthshaker in case they have a flash creature. It'll push, sure. No, this is probably going to go upstairs at their end of turn if they don't do anything. It's going up to 10. Nah, I think I still let that happen and I'm just going to keep them at 8. Lands what the doctor ordered. Play this, get 4 in, have Ember Hauler up for 2 damage, and then a land would make Chandra lethal. Opponent not in a good spot if they don't have a bunch of life gain coming up. That's the sensor we played around earlier, so that was well played. That's the other one. Oh my goodness. Alright, so yeah, we're definitely gonna do 2 upstairs. Probably not necessary, but... Alright, so blue-black control / flash. We only saw a sensor and 2 spells. So they're probably going to have a tough time getting rid of enchantments. So Frenzy's going to look good. Roiling Vortex is going to look good. Go down a couple Chandras. Go down on the top end here. Bringing in Frenzy, you kind of want some lower end spells to be able to hit or play as many as possible. And no matter what, if you're on the player draw playing this deck, you want to be the aggressor. So keeping the curve low is most certainly ideal. So definitely note the 2 sensors, so got to be mindful of our turn 2 play. Opponent deep in the tank, whether or not they want to go first or second. Don't blame them, tough choice. And that's sarcasm, obviously. Of course you go first. It's a solid curve. Let's see how much of it we can get to stick. Now, I want that to resolve through a sensor, so I'm not going to play this on turn 2, more than likely. Oh, unless they do that. Deal. Pretty sure you can't answer this. Does not have haste. Let's see, are they gonna play anything? No. Okay. Let's Kari play around sensor this way. Disallow, sure. I will bring this down and apply a little bit more pressure. Being a control deck, I wouldn't be shocked if they have a board wipe of some sort, but being on 1 black mana right now, they'd be looking at Extinction Event. Now they can play Languish or Cry the Carnarian. Which I'm anticipating. Oh, that's a solid one too, actually. Do not have a means of getting through that. I can prevent the life gain through that, but I think I need to keep my threats on the board, so playing Anax to play around a sweeper. They wipe the board, not exiling them, of course. I could get 4 tokens back. Or 3 if it's Languish or whatever. I am A-okay with that, because then I can activate Roiling Vortex. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna slam on the accelerator here. Basically just turn off their life gain with Roiling Vortex and get them dead as quick as possible. So this, notably, you have to activate to prevent opponents from gaining life that turn. Not an effect that is consistently happening like most cards that are similar to this. Countering that ability, nice. Disallow is a thing, but still work around. I don't know if that was wise doing that in the open manner, but I do appreciate the line that they took. Definitely not letting them gain life at any cost. Yeah. It's fine you exile that, but definitely not allowing life gain. Can they flip that? They can flip that. I think at this point I'd want to draw an untapped land so I can Chainwhirler, swing out, and prevent them from gaining life in the turn. Actually, this works too. So, okay, if they left 2 blue open in there... Yeah. I was gonna say, like, why did they attack? They can't gain life. Oh, man. Alright, that was fun. That was a quick 3 matches. Yeah, this deck is sweet. I love devotion strategies. Honestly, I wish Wizards of the Coast would support devotion more in Magic Arena, because they dropped Fanatic via Jumpstart and like a couple cards sprinkled here and there through miscellaneous sets, but they're not like the super high impact devotion cards like Nykthos, which gives you crazy amount of mana for devotion. That card's currently banned in Pioneer, which is why they're not bringing it to Arena for the moment. But hopefully they'll change their minds on that. That land's really awesome and would most certainly improve this deck. So, quantities for some of these cards may fluctuate based on what you play against, but I like this current setup quite a bit. I feel like I have an answer to everything, and this deck has an opportunity to win against pretty much any matchup on the ladder. Actually, upon looking at this particular list, I think the only strategy that I've left kind of unchecked is graveyard strategies. So if you feel that graveyard strategies are preventing you from having success with this deck, I would look at maybe replacing Shatterstorm with like Tormod's Crypt, which I can pull up for you. Tormod's Crypt, right down here. So easy on the wallet, just redeem a couple of them at an uncommon, and you can have some graveyard hate at your disposal. So yeah, that is Mono Red Devotion, aka Blood Ocean. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.